Hello, the War Within is here. So hello to you and the War Within. Well, the War Within pre-patch is here anyway, not the actual War Within. So they've been changing everything. We're playing Feral Druid. What the hell are we doing in pre-patch? If you're new here, my name's Javier and I generally do beginner-friendly but in-depth guides on all specs in World of Warcraft. And basically, this isn't going to be as in-depth. Why? Well, because we're only actually using this new pre-patch spec for like a few weeks, but I did want to help you guys out and, you know, help you actually understand what the hell your rotations should look like for this small remainder of Dragonflight. So they have made some fundamental changes in Feral Druid. I think they're pretty good. I'm honestly actually one of those people that are like pretty happy with a lot of things that they're changing. I quite like it. Feral was getting so ridiculously fast with the energy and blood talons and the billion things we have to track, and they've simplified it a little bit, especially in AoE. We're going to have to track our Tiger's Fury cooldown a little bit more now, but that's fine. I really like it. I'm going to be showing you today in this video what we're now doing for raiding and also Mythic Plus, so I will show you kind of AoE and single target, if you will. I am going to be kind of assuming that you know a few things in here. Usually I go through like the stat priority and all of the cooldowns and things like that. Again, this is going to be a lot more shallow because this is all going to change in 4 weeks. So there's no point really diving down into the, you know, the tiny nuances of the spec when you're only going to be unlearning it all and doing something completely different in a few weeks' time. But don't worry, I am going to make this beginner friendly and digestible still. So let's jump in. We're starting off with single target. So it is a fairly complex spec still. It's definitely not simple. First things first, you want to go into combat in stealth. And when you're in stealth, the first thing you want to do is use your rake. So we're going to go into combat and press number 1. That is rake. Why are we doing that? And why are we doing it in stealth then? So we have this talent here called Pouncing Strikes. While you are stealthed, Rake will also stun the target and deal 60% increased damage for its full duration. Rake is a dot bleed, which is a damage over time bleed. So it's going to be dealing 60% increased damage for its whole duration. So it's going to deal 60% when you're in stealth and still for when you come out of it. While stealthed, Shred deals 60% increased damage, has double the chance to critically strike, and generates an additional combo point. Why do we then use Rake and not Shred? Because Shred just goes and does some damage, whereas Rake actually does it over time and therefore will deal more damage, so we're going to get the maximum benefit from using Rake, not Shred. After that, we're going to be using our Tiger's Fury. Now, this is, well, actually, sorry, before that, we're going to be using our Ferocious Bite. And I should actually preface this by saying, this big bar in the middle of my screen, number 1, so on the left is the top priority. On the right is your lowest priority. That does not mean it's a rotation. We're not just simply following this and going back to the start. We're kind of coming down, but then going back up whenever we have something as a higher priority that we can press. So the first thing you want to do, and if you don't know Feral that well, it works on combo points, energy, and spenders. So we have energy, you can see this yellow energy bar, and some of our skills, as you can see here, are going to actually spend that energy. And they're going to build combo points up to 5. You can see here on my weak aura, this is the Lux Foss weak aura, we've got 5 combo points built up. And then we're going to use something like Ferocious Bite or Rip to then spend those combo points. So our main and top priority is Ferocious Bite, a finishing move that causes physical damage per combo point and consumes up to 25 additional energy to deal more damage. Now, we're going to have that as our number 1 priority with our Apex Predator's Craving. Rip damage has a 6% chance to make your next Ferocious Bite free and deal the maximum damage. So how do we know if that is actually happening right now? Well, this is Rip here, so let's use that. Okay, it's actually basically refusing to proc at the moment. Oh, finally! I've been sat here for legitimately like a minute or two waiting. When your Ferocious Bite lights up like this, that means that has procced. You can see it on my weak aura here, Apex Predator's Craving. Use your Ferocious Bite whenever that lights up like that. Okay, that is where, sorry about the plane if you can hear it. You're basically wanting to use your Ferocious Bite whenever that happens. After that, we're then going to use our Tiger's Fury. Instantly restores 50 energy and increases the damage of all your attacks by 15% for their full duration. So a nuclear bomb hasn't gone off, by the way, if you can hear that. You only want to use it at below 50 energy because it's going to restore 50 energy, and we don't want to overcap our energy. So we don't want to waste our Tiger's Fury. So number one priority, use your Ferocious Bite if you've got if it lights up and procs from Apex Predator's Craving. After that, we're going to use our Tiger's Fury as long as we don't have 50 energy or more. After that, at 5 combo points, so we're going to use our combo point generators, etc. And on my weak aura here, you can see I've now got 5 combo points. We're going to use Rip. So it's a finishing move that causes bleed damage over time. The more points, the longer and more damage it does. And we're going to use that about 5 combo points. So we're going to use our Rip. You can see on here the target now has Rip. It's bleeding. And there we go. Look, we've got an Apex Predator's Craving. So we're going to use that as our number one priority. After that, we're going to use Rake. This is the one we used when we went in from stealth, remember? Rake the target for bleed damage and an additional amount of bleed damage over 15 seconds. And it also reduces their movement speed. While stealthed, it will obviously do more damage and awards 1 combo point. So just like Rip does, Rake also does a dot or damage over time on the enemy. So now we've got Rip and Rake up on the target. After that, we have Feral Frenzy on a 30-second cooldown. We're basically going to use this on cooldown when we've got minimal combo points. Unleash a Furious Frenzy, clawing your target 5 times for 30,000 physical damage, and additional bleed damage over 6 seconds. It will actually award you 5 combo points. So ideally, if you've just used a finisher like Rip, then you want to use your Feral Frenzy to immediately then get 5 more combo points back. After that, we're going to use Berserk, but only if Convoke the Spirits is off cooldown. If you're then saying, well, Javier, why is Convoke the Spirits not here on the priority list? Well, because we want to use Berserk as a priority if this is on cooldown. So I'm not saying use them in this order, remember. It's a priority list based on certain factors. The factor here is we're going, so like here, we're going, is Ferocious Bite proc from Apex Predator's Craving? Yes, it is. Let's use it. Have we got more than 50 energy? Yes. Okay, we're not going to use our Tiger's Fury then. Can we use our Rip? No, we've got no combo points. Okay, is Rake up? No. Okay, let's use that. Have we got no combo points? No, we have got some. Honestly, I'm just going to use Shred and get some more combo points and get Rip up. Have we got any combo points? No. Okay, let's use our Feral Frenzy. Is Convoke the Spirits off cooldown? No, we're not going to use Berserk then. Okay, then let's use our Convoke the Spirits. And you can see here we're going and doing a million different things. I'm then going to use my Ferocious Bite to spend those combo points. Then I would use Berserk. Go Berserk, generating a combo point every 1.5 seconds. Combo point generating abilities generate an additional combo point. Finishing moves restore up to 3 combo points generated over the cap. All attacks and ability damage is increased. Basically, it's just a big, huge craziness of combo points and generation, etc. At that point, we go, okay, Rip is up. We've got 5 combo points. Ferocious Bite hasn't procced. We haven't got a free one. At this point, that's when we're going to use Ferocious Bite to actually spend our combo points. So we're going to spend it on Ferocious Bite. After this, you're going to notice that Rake is on here again. Now, that's due to a different talent, which is your Sudden Ambush here. Finishing moves, like Rip and Ferocious Bite, have a 6% chance per combo point spent to make your next Rake deal damage as though you were stealthed. So whenever you see that Sudden Ambush buff come up, which is going to look like that, then you can use your Rake here because it's going to deal more damage. If you already have Rake on the target and you're thinking, Javier, should I still use Rake if I've got that buff? Yes, because it's going to overwrite your current Rake with a better version of it, an increased damage version. Another thing I want to mention is clear casting. Here we have the talent Omen of Clarity. Your auto attacks have a high chance to cause a clear casting state, making your next Shred cost no energy to use and deal 15% more damage, and that can accumulate up to 1 charge. So basically, if you can see it here, so it can actually go to 2 charges because of a different talent. But anyway, see this little icon here, clear casting? That means you should use your Shred at this point because it's going to do more damage. After that, we're going to use Brutal Slash if it's got 3 charges. And if we've got nothing else to use, we're going to use our Shred to generate combo points. There is a few other little niches I'm going to talk through here, and I know it's a lot in this rotation. So let's go through the whole rotation again. Have we got Apex Predator's Craving proc? No. Are we below 50 energy? No. So we're not going to use Tiger's Fury. It'll be a waste. Have we got 5 combo points? Yes. Let's use Rake and get that up on the target. Have we got Rake up? Sorry, Rip. Have we got Rake up on the target? No. Okay, then let's use Feral Frenzy. What else are we going to spend our combo points on now? Well, it's not Rip because that's already up. So we're going to go down and spend it on Ferocious Bite. Then we're going to use Convoke the Spirits to make even more combo points come up. And we're going to go crazy. We're then going to, again, spend it on Ferocious Bite because Rip is already up. Oh, now we're going to use Ferocious Bite because we've got a free one. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is use Berserk, generating combo points, etc. I'm going to refresh my my Rake, and then I'm going to put Rip back up on the target. I'm going to use, you can see we're getting loads of combo points. So I'm going to use my Ferocious Bite. I'm then going to use Frenzy to generate even more and use Ferocious Bite again. And Rake has now come off the target, so I'm going to go back and put that on. So you can see you're going back up. Obviously, I would be using Tiger's Fury because we'd be going through it a lot faster in real time. I'm not because I'm over 50 energy. So you're going back up every time, trying to keep going back up to the top priority. And then if you've got Sudden Ambush, we'd be using Rake, and then using Shred and Brutal Slash. Now, can you see this little icon has come up with a 3? That is actually something else we need to talk about called Blood Talons. When you use 3 different combo point generating abilities within 4 seconds, the damage of your next 3 Rips or Ferocious Bite is increased for their full duration. So if we use Shred, Rake, and Brutal Slash within 4 seconds of each other, we'll then get Blood Talons, increasing the damage of our next Rip and Ferocious Bite. If you are like, you know what, I'm a casual player, I'm a beginner, and having to remember that is just too complex, what I would advise you to do is take out Blood Talons and go into Lion's Strength. That takes out that extra step that you need to think about, and it just says, you know what, Ferocious Bite and Rip deal 15% increased damage. That's it. You don't have to worry about Blood Talons. Does Blood Talons do more damage? Yes, it does. But if you're a casual player, Lion's Strength is a much simpler play. So I want to give you both options there. Again, going through it, Apex Predator's Craving, any procs here, use that. Use Tiger's Fury if you've got less than 50 energy. Then if you've got 5 combo points, use Rip. Use Rake to get that up on the target. We're then going to use our Feral Frenzy. We're going to spend it with Ferocious Bite. We're then going to use our Convoke the Spirits, letting that do loads and loads of attacks. Again, spending it on Ferocious Bite. We had a free one, so we're going to use it twice. Then we're going to use Berserk. Rake's coming off, so we're going to use that. Again, we're going to spend our points on Ferocious Bite. Then we're going to use our Shred and our Brutal Slash because we've got nothing else to spend. Again, then using it on Ferocious Bite. Using it again because we've got 5 combo points. Rip has come off, so I'm going to keep my Rake up, my Shred and my Brutal Slash to get 5 combo points. Then I'm going to spend my Rip. Frenzy, because we can use it. We've got no combo points. Again, spending our Ferocious Bite. Again, Rake is coming off, and then we're going to Shred, and we're going to Brutal Slash, keeping up our Blood Talons, using our Ferocious Bite again. Then, again, it's going to be using Shred. Apex Predator's Cravings up. And then, again, we're going to use our Shred and our Brutal Slash, and then a Shred to generate combo points, and then we're going to use Rip because it's come off, then we're going to use our Rake because it's come off. We can use Feral Frenzy in a few seconds, so we're going to go back to using our generators, and then use Ferocious Bite. We're going to use Frenzy because we can. We're then going to use Ferocious Bite. We're going to use Shred. We're going to use Brutal Slash. Ferocious Bite. Rake has come off. We're going to use that. I'm going to use Tiger's Fury. Trying to do it and talk is quite difficult at the same time, but hopefully you can start to see how the rotation comes together. It is a really complex spec to play, and there is a lot to remember still. Coming out. Oh, and use your Thrash as well. I forgot about Thrash down here at number 6. Strikes all nearby enemies, dealing bleed damage and additional bleed damage over 15 seconds. Keep that one up as well. And also, if you want to make it even more complex, we're going to just put in here, moving these all down one, Adaptive Swarm. Use that on cooldown as well in there. If you're a beginner, don't. That's why I've left it out to last. But do use it on cooldown. It basically just does more damage and bumps around to different targets. And that is pretty much it for the single target rotation. If you're like, oh my god, this is a lot. Yeah, this spec is a lot. I'm now going to show you what we're going to change for the AoE rotation. It's not really very much. So if I just switch over to the Mythic Plus build, you can see a few talents are changing. It's not really the end of the world. Number 1 here, your damage over time effects deal their damage in 20% less time. The reason for that is because in Mythic Plus, we're often dealing with trash packs that won't last that long, so it's good to get the damage out quicker. Here we've got Rip and Tear. Applying Rip to a target applies a tear that deals 15% of the new Rip's damage over 6 seconds. And then up here, this is the really interesting one, we have Primal Wrath and we have Double Clawed Rake. Primal Wrath basically is something you're going to use instead of Rip. Finishing move that deals instant damage and applies Rip to all enemies within 10 yards. So you can basically, oh my god, it's completely messed up the rotation. My action bar, but basically use Primal Wrath instead of Rip because it'll apply it to everyone nearby. And then what you want to do, again with your Rake, Rake also applies Rake to one nearby target. So it's going to affect 2 targets rather than 1. Pretty much that is all we're going to change for the Mythic Plus AoE rotation. So it is very, very similar. Hopefully this made sense to you guys. It is quite a complex spec to learn and play. Watch this video through again if you're not sure, and just keep watching it until you understand. Practice on the target dummies. It is going to be changing a little bit in the War Within. This is just for pre-patch. If you do need any help that is like, one-to-one help from me, do join my Patreon. I can help you, like I said, one-on-one and give you the support you need with any questions you may have. You can also get my UI through Patreon, as well as get a VIP channel in Discord where we can help you, and you can get loads of other resources and tutorial videos on there. Of course, it really helps support the channel as well, and I really, really, really appreciate it. If you're looking for other guides for other specs in pre-patch, check out this playlist here. If not, then I will see you in the War Within, where I will actually be releasing a video pretty much like that on release day for you for all specs.